My name is Cynthia, and today my top 10 tips are going to be concerning parrots. Dangers to them. It can be their environment, it can be other parrots, other birds, other animals. Let's go through some of the lists. Some of these are from my own experience, and some are from things I've heard from other people too. First of all, food. I did a video concerning dangerous foods that they could ingest by mistake. And if you hear a parrot in the background, it's my cockatoo. Sorry about that. But avocado is the number one that's dangerous for parrots to eat. It's almost instantaneous death from avocados. Another thing are mushrooms are bad. So are salt is bad. Too much of it. Sugar is bad for parrots. These are just a small list. I go through a lot more in another video. Chocolate bad. Some kind of peanuts are bad if they have salt on the outside shells. And peanuts can go bad. And if they are giving bad peanuts, that's dangerous. There's a disease that they can get from that. So you got to be careful when you have peanuts around them. And they love them. I give peanuts to my parrots, but I'm very careful about how old they are. And I only give them one at a time for hours and hours. So you be careful with that. Alcohol, do not give any alcohol, or don't let them drink coffee out of your mug. That's bad for them, and stay away from that. Again, I go through a whole bunch of other dangers in foods in another video. Another thing, free flight. It's so nice to have a parrot out flying around your house. You think it's cool. And you can train them to come on your finger and fly all around, but it's very dangerous for them. And let me go through some of the things. I've heard stories about a parrot flying around, a small parrot like a cockatiel, that flew around and they were cooking something on the stove and landed in the water dish because they think it's water. They don't know it's hot. And it burned and it died from that. They can drown in that too. They can drown flying around and going into your bathroom if you have a tub that you're getting ready to take a bath. They can drown in that too. So you got to be careful when they're free flying. Another thing, they can fly into mirrors and windows in your house. How many people out there have had a wild bird outside fly into a window and break its neck? That will happen in your house too. So free flying is not the best thing for your bird. I know you want that to happen, but it's not good. I once had a lovebird that I let out on the top of its cage. I thought it was fine. And my dog came bounding into the room and scared the parrot, the little lovebird. And she flew and landed on my Amazon's cage. My Amazon was the most gentlest bird it could be. But when that little parrot flew on his cage, she bit the little lovebird. And ended up, I took her to a vet, and it cost me a lot of money, but in the end she died because of the blood loss. So, other parrots can be dangerous to them too. Another thing was ceiling fans, when they're flying around, they can run into that if you have them running. Another thing, the worst part of it is, you have them on your shoulder. Little cockatiels, you like to have them on your shoulder. Kids like to walk around the house with them on their shoulder. I've heard stories where kids walk outside with a parrot on their shoulder and it goes away. Parrots are not like dogs and cats that can come back from smelling, find their way home. They can't. Dogs and cats can find their way home, but parrots can't, and they're gone. And unless you can spot them and follow them where they go, they're gone. I once had a friend of mine that had a hyacinth macaw that she was babysitting, and she took it outside and it flew off her shoulder and went over a house next door and went to the roof of the other house next door. Luckily, she was able to find the neighbor, and they got a ladder and they brought the bird down. But that big hyacinth macaws are gigantic, and they can fly 20 miles a day like nothing. it could have flown away and she could never got that bird back. And that was friends that she was babysitting for. And that parrot is worth $20,000, so that was a really dangerous thing. And besides, wild birds, hawks could have got that bird too. So free flying is not the best thing in the world for your parrot. Another thing that's dangerous for them is in kitchen. If you're in the kitchen and you have non-stick pans, they have a coating on them, a Teflon coating, that when you are using that pan, if there's any kind of scratches on the pan, it can emit an odor, and it will kill a parrot. So I have a friend that insists on having those pans, and she says she's very careful they don't have any scratches on them, but why take a chance? I don't get it. I know it's very convenient, but why take a chance you could kill your parrot by using that pan? Don't have them around if you can avoid having them around. Another thing in the kitchen is oven. Self-cleaning ovens emit an odor that will kill parrots. And do not use a self-cleaning oven when you have a parrot around anywhere in the house. It's convenient, yes, but don't use it. It's too dangerous and it will kill a parrot. And it's amazing how that odor will go through the entire house. And if you have parrots in the basement, it could end up down there too, so be careful with that too. Another thing that's dangerous is air cleaning, air fresheners that you can plug into your wall. They are dangerous for parrots. They emit an odor, a chemical into the air, will kill your parrots. Another thing, carpet cleaning. You spray on the carpet, that puts out an odor too, a chemical that could kill your parrots. So be careful using those cleaners around your house. Another thing, air quality is very important for your birds too. Cigarettes, smoke, bad. If anybody out there that smokes and you smoke around your parrot, you're dooming them to lung problems because they have very sensitive lungs. And I have friends that smoke around their parrots, and that's their decision if they want to do that to their parrot, but if you can, avoid having any kind of smoke around your parrots. Another thing, carbon monoxide obviously is bad for you, it's bad for them too. You know, they in the old days used to take canaries down into mines, and if the canary died, they knew there was carbon monoxide in the air. And they have very sensitive lungs, and that will kill them in a second. So have those kind of tests around your house if you can for carbon monoxide. Another thing that is dangerous to your parrots. Let me change this sheet here. Pesticides. Things that you use to clean around your house. Bleach. I use bleach to clean the cages, but when you do use that, make sure you rinse it very thoroughly so the bleach is not on the wires, because that will kill the birds. If they get their mouth on the wires and they have the bleach on it, it can kill them or make them very sick. Nail polish is bad. That's air quality. That will hurt the parrots. Another thing are essential oils. If you like to have them around your house, don't use them when you have parrots, because that puts out a chemical in the airs and will kill the parrots. What else here do we have? Glues. If you have any kind of glues, they could put out a chemical in the air too that will kill the birds. Check with the manufacturer before you use any of those around your parrots, because the manufacturer will tell you whether they will hurt the parrots. Another thing that will put out chemical is paints. Be very careful when you're painting rooms, or even any room in the house where you have a parrot. You have to make sure that that paint is okay for parrots. Again, call the manufacturers. There are certain ones that are safe to use around parrots, but if you don't, you could doom them to die from the chemicals that are emitted into the air. Okay, another thing, electrical cords. They can get in when they're climbing around their cage. If they're on the outside of their cage, they can come down the side of the cage and bite into an electrical cord and electrocute themselves. They don't know the danger there. They bite into that. When it's plugged in and being used, they can be killed. So be careful with that. Another thing, other cats and dogs, which is pretty obvious that they could hurt a parrot. My aunt used to babysit dogs when people were gone on vacations. She was very good. She loved animals. Well, she went into a house where they had a cockatiel, and that cockatiel was a very friendly little bird. When she was sitting there, she'd have it on her shoulder, watching TV, and they had dogs and cats around, and they didn't bother the cockatiel. Well, what happened is she got up to get some more tea. She was almost out of tea, and she put the cockatiel on the top of the sofa. When she came back, the dog had ate the cockatiel. All was left was the feathers. That devastated her, and that was the owner's fault. They should have made it very clear to her to be very careful with that cockatiel around the animals. Even animals that never gave any thought to hurting anybody or anything can be drawn to that parrot and kill them and hurt them, bite them. And that's just bad, because a lot of animals have bacteria in their mouth, and that bacteria will get into that bite and kill that parrot. Now, those are just a few of the dangers. I will come in and do other videos about other dangers, but those are just a few. Be very careful when you have your parrots. You don't want to have your parrot die because of some mistake you made and put them in danger. I hope you got some good tips out of this. If you did, give me a thumbs up. Subscribe to my channel. I'm going to have some other videos about parrots. They're something I really enjoy, and I have a lot of parrots, and I've had them for many years. And I hope that you do get one and enjoy that too for many years. Come back and visit me again, okay? Bye now.